So today it was a tough one. The Cubs, they now fall to 16-7-1 in home series. This a series defeat courtesy of those Washington Nationals. It was all about Robert Hassel III finding the basket right there, and then big Josh Bell, ding dong gone. Both would only be home runs in one ballpark out of 30 in the bigs, and that would be, you guessed it, Wrigley Field. Daniel Palencia, normally airtight, but today his performance just a little bit leaky, and we'll give you an update as the show progresses on his current situation of health. But with that said, come on in. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Flight by Yuengling, the future of light beer. I'm Cole Wright alongside Elise Menaker and Ryan Dempster. And Dempy, I'll start with you, but either way, no easy way to slice it. 5 unanswered runs leading to a loss. They did not draw it up like this.
No, and it was looking so promising, right? A well-pitched game by Colin Ray coming in for Drew Pomeranz, who started the game. Couple home runs by Carson Kelly. Everything's looking great. Dami that gasolina. Here comes Danny Palencia. And then it just starts with a simple little home run into the basket or robbed by the kid landing in the basket. But you're thinking, okay, still one run lead. And all of a sudden, boom, Josh Bell jumps on a first pitch and just hits it in the right spot. At first, I thought it was a fly ball, maybe deep left center field, but it lands in the basket, and this is a stinger. These are the kind of games that just, you got to climb out of soon. You got to figure out a way to leave that locker room and leave it behind you and not let it have that lingering effect, because that's a series you should have won against a team that you should be beating in a series, especially if, you're the playoff contender that you are. But this is what happens. Like JD said, it happens all the time across baseball. Sometimes a bad team will come in and they'll spoil something. They'll spoil a win. A guy will go out there and pitch well. Against a good offense. They neutralized their offense until that 9th inning and did a great job, but unfortunately this is just a tough loss, and now you got to head to Atlanta and face a team there that's going to want to try and do the same thing.
Yeah, Elise, and the dreamer in all of us wanted to see Kevin Alcantara get up above that basket as tall as he is and commit the first basket robbery in Wrigley Field history, but it was not to be. The Cubs, they seemed to just unwind as the game dwelled on.
Yeah, and I think when you were highlighting Palencia, we were also talking about he was out there, the velocity. He hit 100 at one point, but it was
101 on that home run.
And 101 on the home run. It was like 97, 98, and then you see what happens. And we'll get an official word and everything post-game from Craig Counsell. But, Demp, you said right away we were watching the replay, and you're like, oof, that doesn't look good. And so there's something there. Well, he wasn't moving his arm when he was in.
Yeah, well, that's my first thought, too. He was able to stand and not go down, and, there's no, let me grab a knee or something like that, or a hamstring.
And that reaction
right there says it's my arm. When you do that, because anything else you feel like, okay, I can get through this, but when you're that angry about getting hurt, I just feel like I'm watching him in the dugout. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a hamstring or something else that's different and not his elbow. But we'll wait and see what happens.
Do you think the drop in velo could stem from the fact that he gives up a home run? He puts 2 guys on base, a free pass via one of them, and then the home run, him trying to make sure he hits spots. Let me take a little something off, and then pow, next thing you know, not what he drew up.
No, yeah, I think that the drop in velo too, if it wasn't from anything to do physically, sometimes when we've had our struggles, right? For Danny, it's been a little bit of a struggle lately. His last 15 games, 12 innings pitched, 21 hits, 5 walks. He's allowing base runners. He's navigated through traffic because he has that high velocity, high octane stuff that can go ahead and miss bats. But he's had to pitch in some jams. And when you get in those situations and you've had some struggles and you've given up some runs, and all of a sudden you actually start to grip the ball a little bit tighter, and you want free and easy in your arm so the ball comes out of your arm nice with good rotation and good spin, and you squeeze it off like that, you're actually decreasing velocity.
You should be pitching with an egg, right? You don't want to crack the egg.
Yeah, exactly. And so what happens is when you're squeezing it too tight, and all of a sudden, pitches aren't as crisp, they don't have that whip to them, your location isn't quite as good. And I think that the drop in velocity might have just been a byproduct of just his recent struggles.
Okay, Elise, what do you think? If Daniel Palencia, if there is something moving forward, how big of a setback could this be for the Chicago Cubs? It looked as if they'd found their closer.
Yeah, and to the point where he's coming out to lights and music, and I personally love it. I loved how he knew his role, he embraced his role, he was learning to work through it, even as you were highlighting, like, sure, I think that's what was sticking out to me is he was working through traffic a lot recently. Didn't mean it always was a bad result, but it was just stuff that he had to work through, and I almost didn't mind it because he even said to me at one point during the road trip, he heard an interview with Bartolo Colon, and you'll appreciate this, and he was like, if you don't want to get hit, don't be a pitcher. Meaning it's going to happen. Yes. Like you're going to be on the mound, you're going to get hit. And I love how he's watching interviews and he's, embracing who he is in the highest leverage spot. And he, I think, was really good at it. And so it's disappointing to see that now you hope that, best case scenario, this is nothing long term. He can work through it. But I mean, you just hope that this isn't a big setback for him and he gets healthy.
Yeah, he is really good at that.
Yeah.
We don't want to speak about him in past tense because today, just a slight blip on the radar, and hopefully everything is all systems go with his arm and everything structurally. So let's find out. Let's check in with the skipper, Craig Counsell, with more on Daniel Palencia.
So Danny's felt some tightness in the posterior right shoulder. Docs have looked at him. Probably best to that's all we have right now. Probably let him just kind of calm down a little bit and see how we are in a couple days, a day or so. But right posterior shoulder.
Is that something you experienced at all prior that you know about?
No, not significantly. I mean, it was a very small incident. Maybe a couple months ago, it was like a day, but he's been good ever since.
Aggravate him on that first pitch of that at bat there that he came out on, or was it bothering him throughout the inning?
No, just that pitch. I mean, as far as I know right now, yeah.
Obviously, prior to that inning, frustrating inning from. What have you seen from him the last couple of weeks or so? It just seems like more traffic, more runs.
Well, yeah. I mean, he just. He left some pitches over kind of the good part of the plate, and they took some good swings. Simple as that.
Ever surprising to you when 101, 102 goes out of the ballpark?
Well, that's the other side's job is to do that. Like I said, he put some pitches in a place where they took good swings, and they're prepared for that. That's what their job is, to prepare for that. They beat us today. They beat him today.
Depending on what the injury ends up looking like, what do you kind of envision your ninth inning situation being like?
Yeah, we'll regroup on that. I mean, that's not as important as kind of like figuring out what's going on with Danny right now. We got to get 27 outs, and we'll figure out how to get 27 outs. If it's without Danny, it'll look a little different.
Sorry if you've been asked, but how did pregame go for Tucker?
Yeah, pregame went well. Improvement. Pete, overall, it was like we said, he came in positive. I don't think Tucker will be in the lineup tomorrow. I think we're starting to approach it like availability, though. I think Pete will kind of see how he's doing tomorrow and make a lineup decision on that tomorrow.
Thanks, Craig.
So there you have it, straight from the source. Craig Counsell said that Daniel Palencia dealing with a posterior right shoulder, going to hopefully give it just a couple of days, and maybe we will see things improve. That would be the fingers crossed prognosis that we're hoping for. But Dempy, right now, Daniel Palencia, if he's hurting and it is that shoulder, that doesn't necessarily spell good news.
No, and I guess we just have to wait and see, right? Sure. Figure out exactly what goes on in there. I'm sure they'll do all kinds of imaging and testing and all that. And so hopefully best possible case scenario is what we're looking for. And until we find out exactly what's going on, we can just send positive vibes his way and hope that he recovers from this faster than we look like right now, right? Like we're watching right now going, oh, this looks bad. I even thought that, but at the same time, hey, man, sometimes things scare us, and then you look at them and maybe they're a little less.
Maybe a little overextension, at least, from Daniel Palencia.
Well,
in that
even Craig
situation.
Counsell said he had dealt with this about a month ago or so, or a couple months ago, and there was one day and then he was fine. And Craig will usually kind of express like if he's really concerned or not, or where he feels like it's going, and he actually off the bat was not it didn't sound like I'm going to be really concerned because they had dealt with it already. So we'll see. We'll see how he recovers.
Well, hopefully that injury and not a flare-up of a former hot spot. You see him right there, Daniel Palencia swinging that left arm, but he throws Gasolina with the right arm. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is okay. We'll continue to take a look at that. Plus, we're going to show you how everything unfolded in the series finale. Keep it right here on Cubs Postgame Live.